very good evening to you all. You're joining us on Prime TV News. I'm Dilani Jaitilaka. Let's have a look at the headlines first. The Apex Court affirms death sentence on Duminder Silva. The Premier highlights significance of Indian Ocean. The President pays his last respects to late Ronnie Leach. Sri Lanka hails Commonwealth Economic Recovery Plan. Asian stock markets plummet. Now for news in detail. The Supreme Court has affirmed the death sentence imposed on former parliamentarian Duminder Silva. Duminder Silva was convicted by the High Court of killing former parliamentarian Bharata Lakshman Premachandra and 4 other people. The Apex Court gave the decision hearing the appeal filed by the convicted against the decision given by the High Court on the 8th of September 2016. Duminder Silva, who happened to be one of the closest allies of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and even used to work as a monitoring MP of the Defence Ministry. The conflict between Bharata Lakshman Premachandra and Duminder Silva resulted the death of 4 people, including Bharata Lakshman Premachandra, on the 8th of October 2011. Indian Ocean defining our future. Summit commenced in Colombo under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The 2-day event will conclude tomorrow. Distinguished guests, including intellectuals in the Indian Ocean countries and neighbours, are attending the summit. The parley will discuss biggest challenges posed at the regional countries in terms of trade, finance and other related areas. Sri Lanka is committed to make the island the hub of finance and trade in the region. Delivering the keynote address, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe stated that sea routes in the Indian Ocean are instrumental in the international trade.
The Indian Ocean sea lanes have become the major arteries of East-West trade, connecting East and Southeast Asia via South Asia to East Africa, the Middle East and Europe. The rise of Japan, South Korea, China, India and ASEAN economies have turned these sea lanes into maritime superhighway, carrying around half the world's container shippings and about 2/3 of its oil shipments. A strategic geographic location and a rich resource base underpins this heavy maritime traffic. That is why the Indian Ocean truly is the ocean of the future. Maintaining freedom of navigation in the sea lanes of communication of the Indian Ocean therefore assumes significant importance for global trade. As outlined in the government's Vision 2025 policy document, Sri Lanka desires to develop as a trading hub of the Indian Ocean. To realize this objective, we are investing in port and airport modernization to increase our international connectivity. We are investing in developing highways to connect our ports to the Sri Lankan hinterland. We are making logistics and government procedures more business-friendly and upscaling our national exports. However, such aspirations depend first and foremost on sustained external demand through thriving maritime trade. These are ocean issues that have received limited attention but have the far-reaching consequences into the future. Sri Lanka, situated in the middle of the Indian Ocean, sees a need to start examining these issues in depth. Much of the undersea cable connectivity, in fact to be precise, all of the digital connectivity between West and East traverses over the seabed adjacent to Sri Lanka. We want to ensure the freedom of digital connectivity not only as an Indian Ocean objective but as a global objective.
Minister Tilak Marapana also spoke.
As an island nation, Sri Lanka is dependent on the Indian Ocean for connectivity and for growth. The blue economy holds much potential for development and growth for Sri Lanka and would therefore be in the forefront of our efforts in the future. The government's vision is to make Sri Lanka the hub of the Indian Ocean with a knowledge-based, highly competitive social market economy.
A special envoy of the ocean to the United Nations Secretary General Peter Thompson made a special speech at the summit. President Maithripala Sirisena paid his last respects to late popular vocalist and actor Ronnie Leach. President Sirisena, visiting the private funeral parlour in Colombo, where his mortal remains were kept, paid his last respects and offered condolences to the family members, relatives and fans of the late Ronnie Leach. Speaker Karu Jayasuriya, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, Minister Mahinda Amaravira and parliamentarian Dayasiri Jayasekara also attended the funeral. Commonwealth to redouble its efforts and begin implementing a well-targeted and thought-out economic recovery plan to buttress the financial fallout of increasingly frequent natural disasters. Speaking at the meeting of Commonwealth Finance Ministers, Finance Minister Mangala Samaravira said that vulnerability must be looked at not only from a trade and commerce point of view, but must take into account financial risk as well. He said that in an era where currencies and interest rates are volatile, mainly due to the unpredictability of external factors such as unprecedented challenges to the well-established international trading regime and the consequential effects of spiraling energy costs, natural disasters may push smaller nations towards uncontrollable economic chaos. The minister also said that Sri Lanka welcomes the series of initiatives of the Commonwealth that aims to enhance national capacities to reduce disaster risk. The revision petitions filed on behalf of Arjuna Aloysius and Kasun Palisena have been rejected by the Court of Appeal. Arjuna Aloysius and Kasun Palisena are in remand custody in connection with the alleged bond scam connected with the central bank's bond issuance. Arjuna Aloysius is the owner of the Perpetual Treasuries Private Limited and Kasun Palisena is the CEO of the said company. The order was given by the two-member judge bench of appeal court. The bench stated that the revision petitions will be rejected without issuing notices to the defendants. The judges also decided that no special points in the petitions to grant bail for suspects. Arjuna Aloysius and Kasun Palisena have been litigated under the Public Property Act. The Fourth Magistrate Court and the Colombo High Court had also rejected their petitions previously. Meanwhile, the Attorney General has sued 6 suspects, including Samarapulige Nirosh Roshan alias Ali Roshan, for keeping wild elephants in their possession without licenses. Their case will be taken up before a 3-member judge at the High Court. They have been litigated under the Fauna and Flora Protection Ordinance. Minister Gayantha Karunathilaka says the victims of the bad weather will be compensated with the immediate effect. He added that all the people who lost their housing units due to natural disasters will be resettled in new places soon. Minister Karunathilaka was speaking during an inspection tour in the Galle Divisional Secretariat. He stated that the government will work to earmark new land blocks to construct new houses. The minister also said that the government will be concerned over the demographic changes when making resettlements. A leading clothing store at Palavatta in Battaramulla has been destroyed due to a fire broke out today. The fire broke out at 11 a.m. this morning. It had extended to several small shopping outlets nearby. Several fire trucks were dispatched by the Colombo Municipal Council and the Kotte Urban Council to douse the fire. Bell 212 helicopter was also deployed to control the situation. A joint operation was implemented with the support from the Army, police and the disaster management units to contain the situation. The authorities had to close the Battaramulla-Palavatta and Kottava-Battaramulla roads for traffic due to the disaster situation. No cause has been identified so far for the fire. The Talangama police is conducting further investigations. The severe cyclonic storm Titli in the Bay of Bengal has crossed Indian coast near North Andhra Pradesh and it is very likely to move northwestwards for the next 12 hours. Showers or thunder showers will occur in southern province and in Ratnapura and Kaluthara districts. Fairly heavy falls, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places. Showers or thunder showers will occur in several places elsewhere. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. General public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activity. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the sea areas extending from Colombo to Batticaloa via Galle and Hambantota. Heavy showers or thunder showers can be expected at sea areas off the coast extending from Galle to Tangalla via Matara. Winds will be southwesterly in direction and wind speed will be 30 to 40 kilometers per hour in the sea areas around the island. Meanwhile, a landslide threat is posed at Nagwada in Galle with incessant rains. More than 15 families in the area have been affected. Minister Vajrabe Vardhana visited the vulnerable area today. The Supreme Court has affirmed the death sentence imposed on former parliamentarian Duminda Silva. Duminda Silva was convicted by the High Court of killing former parliamentarian Bharata Lakshman Premachandra and 4 other people. The Apex Court gave the decision hearing the appeal filed by the convicted against the decision given by the High Court on the 8th of September 2016. Duminda Silva, who happened to be one of the closest allies of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and even used to work as a monitoring MP of the Defence Ministry. The conflict between Bharata Lakshman Premachandra and Duminda Silva resulted the death of 4 people, including Bharata Lakshman Premachandra, on the 8th of October 2011. The Attorney General Department did not take measures to litigate Duminda Silva and other suspects till the end of last regime. The Attorney General filed the case against Duminda Silva and 13 other defendants on the 3rd of March 2015 after election of the present government. Duminda Silva showcased his forgetfulness before the court. According to senior lawyers, his act was a contempt of court. Consequently, the Colombo High Court sentenced Duminda Silva and 4 other defendants to death. The 3-member bench of the Colombo High Court decided that Duminda Silva and 4 other suspects have committed 10 offences, including killing 4 people, conspiring for the assassination, threatening voters using firearms, etc. However, the Supreme Court acquitted accused police officer assigned to Duminda Silva's security, Anurathushara Dimel, from the case following the appeal. Meanwhile, Duminda Silva was accused over a child abuse case in 2007 when he was serving as a Western Provincial Councillor. But then Attorney General Mohan Peris withdrew the case. The decision attracted a lot of flack from many layers of the society. 3 air passengers have been arrested for smuggling gold into the country. The suspects were arrested at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunayake. The 3 passengers have arrived in Sri Lanka from Singapore. The customs officers of the airport states that value of the smuggled gold exceeds 16 million rupees. The culprits had smuggled 24 gold biscuits and 2 gold pieces.